Well, I'll be damned. They actually made the comeback. Down 24-7, they won against the Indianapolis Colts at home in their final home game of the year, possibly, at least for the regular season, 28-24. The Steelers couldn't score 20 points in the last 4 games up until this one. They scored 21 unanswered points in the second quarter alone.
You mean second half alone?
Second half, excuse me, yes.
In the second
and that's why you're here.
Yes. It's a Christmas miracle.
How?
It's a Christmas... I don't know how.
This team, this offense, did that.
When they haven't been able to even do half of that.
In
4
months.
Weeks. Yes, a month pretty much.
In weeks.
But thank God. The streak is over. The losing streak is finally over. Thank Christ.
Yes.
Because I expected us to lose in this game. I really did, considering the Colts are a very good playoff caliber team.
But this just goes to show you that, one, we truly do have the Colts number. No matter how bad we look or how have looked, we truly have the Colts number. They still haven't beaten us since 2008.
Yeah.
But it also goes to show you the slight heart, passion, and admiration that this offense can show when they actually
produce.
perform.
When they perform, they produce. They actually, get their shit together.
When they show care. Now, I will say this. I incredibly doubt that Fichtner was the one calling the offense in the second half.
No.
There's no way in hell Fichtner was calling the shots. When has he ever called a game that good? When the hell has he ever brought this team from a deficit like that before? When has he ever called Juju to go straight up the middle into the end zone?
I don't know. I don't think he ever has. I don't think he ever will. That was definitely not Fichtner. I don't know if that was Matt Canada. I don't know if that was Big Ben. I don't know if that was even Mike Tomlin. I don't know. But thank God we made adjustments in the second half because we needed it.
Yes. I'm going to go on a limb and say that was Ben Roethlisberger who made adjustments and called plays. We all know. Okay, we can say all we want about how Ben needs to retire, how Ben's cap hit next year is going to kill this team, and how he's kind of killing this team. And you're not wrong in any of those statements.
And I agree.
However, it is obvious that Ben is best calling the shots over Fichtner. And that's the way it needs to be for the remainder of the season. Heading into the Cleveland next week, which they just lost against the Jets. And with our victory, the Steelers do indeed clinch the AFC North Division for the first time since 2017. Finally. It's been so long.
It's about time you finally clinched it when you could have last week.
Right. But at least they did this week. Cleveland loses to the Jets today, hilariously. And I don't know what they do next week. Maybe they play their starters. I don't know what the whole deal is with Cleveland and playoff scenarios. If they want to try to do what Baltimore did last week to us and try to ruin the Browns season and prevent them from making the playoffs, I don't know. Yeah, maybe they sit their starters, which sounds ideal. Knowing the amount of injuries we have, they could sit their starters. We could see Mason Rudolph get the start against the Browns, which would be pretty ironic and fitting, knowing what happened last year.
Yeah. But I mean, that would be for when we do the Browns preview. But the Steelers beat the Indianapolis Colts 28-24. First half, offensively, was not good.
No. Not even for the defense. But, Grant, I mean, they've been hit with so many injuries, and they're relied on so much. They already have so much weight on their shoulders. They can only do so much.
Yeah. The offense could get nothing going. We already know what's wrong with the offense, just about everything.
Pretty much
nothing was going well. We couldn't even get 100 total yards at the end of the first half.
No.
And that's depressing.
In fact, I believe we only had 4 rushing yards total in the first half.
Yeah,
4!
Yeah, we averaged...
Most running backs get that in one carry to start the game.
We averaged 2 rushing yards a quarter. Now, that's bad. But thank God they adjusted in the second half and were able to actually score 3 consecutive touchdown drives, which I cannot remember the last time they did that.
No.
Thank God. Because this offense needed to help us win this game because the defense, again, week in and week out, can only do so much.
Right, and credit to the defense because they stepped up in the second half and prevented the Colts from scoring, I believe, 0 points in the second half? Maybe a field goal? But that was it.
I don't think that was a field goal. That was it.
In the second half after they scored 21 in the first half.
Yeah.
Credit to the defense. Seriously. It was the pass rush really came to play. T.J. Watt got, 2.5 sacks today?
2 sacks, and his first strip sack of the season.
Right, which obviously was picked up by Mike Hilton and put us at the 3-yard line in which James Conner punched it in. Offense finally got their points on the board.
Yeah, the only points of the first half. T.J. Watt deserves to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Yes.
No doubt. He is 1 sack away from tying James Harrison's single-season sack record for the Steelers.
And he could get it next week against the Browns if he's not set. And we all know his history against the Cleveland Browns.
His reputation against the Browns, yes.
Right. So
we'll see about that. But the defense came in clutch. Mike Hilton made a very good interception late into the fourth quarter.
Mike Hilton, man, he needs to be resigned. He had a great game today. He made a lot of great plays on rushing downs and third downs, and he got that, like you said, that late interception, which, of course, the Steelers capitalized and scored the game, or the game-leading touchdown, which was to Eric Ebron, who stepped up in this game. He had 5 receptions, I believe, 47 yards and a touchdown. Not too bad for Ebron. One of his better games this year, or at least in weeks. Same thing could be said for Juju Smith-Schuster. 9 receptions, 96 yards, and 1 touchdown. So credit to Juju, who really stepped up in this one. Same thing for Deontay Johnson. He had a phenomenal, beautiful catch and throw from Ben to Johnson for the touchdown. A second touchdown of the game, man, on a deep ball, which needs to be seen more. That's where these guys are best used at. Guys like Claypool, guys like Washington, guys like Johnson, guys like Juju. Get him moving up the middle of the field. That's what we saw in the second half. That's what we need to continue to see. And thus, that opened the short passing game, which is, it's not rocket science.
No, it's not.
If you go deep and attack the middle of the field, defenses will back up and back off a little bit and open the box, opening the short passing game, which you can obviously use that to move the chains, which occurred. It's not rocket science.
Oh, yeah.
Football 101.
It's very simple, dude. Now
the offense was not predictable in the second half, not once.
We were able to get a rhythm. We were able to be consistent, something that we are not good at all.
Or at least haven't shown this year.
No, we are not consistent.
So, major credit to the offense for stepping up. The receivers, the offensive line, Ben having his best game in weeks. He threw for 3 touchdowns, almost 350 yards today.
Now, can this offense consistently do this heading into Cleveland next week?
Or even the playoffs?
Can they consistently do that? That is the question.
And that's what we're going to get into right now. Listen, we are incredibly glad to have this victory. We're glad to be AFC North champs again. We're glad for this comeback. A comeback like this is how you win championships.
Yes, that weight is now off of our shoulders.
And honestly, this is just classic Steelers first half of the season football that we saw earlier in the season, where we looked bad in the first half and came back in the second.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of the Texans game or even the Broncos game.
Right.
It was crazy. You know, it kind of brought me back a little bit to earlier this year where this team showed signs of being a true great team. Hopefully it can continue to do that.
Yeah.
But one thing that is pretty known about this team all year and will continue to be known leading into the playoffs, we don't know what side of this team we're going to get. We don't know what side of the offense we're going to get. We don't know what side of Ben, most importantly, we're going to get. Are we going to get the washed-up Ben, quote-unquote? Are we going to get the Ben gunslinger? Are we going to get the Ben who says he can still take this team to another Lombardi? Are we going to get the Ben who says he still has some magic left there? I don't know. That's what frightens me heading into the playoffs. I don't know what side of this team we're going to get. And thus, I don't know if I can have full confidence going into the playoffs.
At least not yet. Not yet. It's going to take more than this performance to fully have confidence again in this offense.
Right. But against a great Colts team who could still make the playoffs, have shown great signs of being a great team in the future with a new head coach in Frank Reich.
Mm-hmm.
So, and a comeback like this is great. I like it. But I'm still not incredibly confident heading into the playoffs.
No, this team needs to do more, and they need to do it more consistently.
Yes,
and let's hope they can do that.
Like we've said with a lot of wins this year, if you do a performance like this in the playoffs, you're not coming back.
No.
Not against playoff teams. Not against guys like the Bills and the Chiefs if you get that far.
Maybe even the Titans again, or the even the Browns if they still make it. You know?
So, I mean, we just want to see a little more consistency. But is it too late to improve on that? I don't think so, but
at least I hope not.
You got 1 full week to continue improving on offense. First things first, you got to prevent Fichtner from calling the shots, because we all know he was not the one calling shots in the second half. I'm 100% sure that was Ben.
That had to be, because Fichtner has never done that before in his entire life.
That was Ben. That was Ben calling the shots. That was Ben taking control, saying, you know what? You and I have a great relationship. We go way back. but you're garbage. Let me take control. And thus he did, and we came back. We scored 21 unanswered points in the second half when we failed to score over 20 alone in the last 4 games prior to this one.
Right.
Ben, I love you. I think that your time is coming soon, but thank you for this victory. Thank you for another AFC North.
Now, Ben definitely led us to victory. Let's just hope that he can continue to do it.
We'll see what happens. But I got to say, I love the win. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy about the win. I'm happy about the division title again. But I don't know if this team can go far in the playoffs just because I don't know what side we're going to get.
Right.
We're so inconsistent. We're so imbalanced. And it honestly frightens me. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will see what happens.
Hopefully we don't go one and done, but as of right now, I still feel that way. Hopefully this team can shut me up once again, because in the entire first half, us, and I'd say most of Steelers Nation, was definitely on the verge of saying this season's over.
It pretty much was over. Up. Because nothing was going well.
It was not.
Then they turned it around, thankfully. Let's hope they continue to turn this whole season around.
Exactly. Hopefully they can continue to shut our mouths, make us eat our words. We'll see what happens.
And shut the haters down, too.
Exactly. But the Steelers still have the Colts number. They make an incredible comeback from 24-7 to 28-24 and win the AFC North division title.
And advance to 12-3.
Good shit.
Good shit, Steelers.
I really like it. We'll see what happens against Cleveland next week, whether we rest the starters or not, but we'll see what happens. But nonetheless, we are AFC North division champions. Now we can actually officially look into the playoffs. We don't have that weight on our shoulders no more.
Nope.
Let's focus on the playoffs.
It's playoff time.
Let's focus on the issues that you guys clearly still have. Let's focus on the stuff you guys need to continue to adjust on. We can focus on the playoffs. So let's do it. Here we go, Steelers. We got the victory. We're 12-3 right now. AFC North champions. It feels good. Finally, after so long, quote unquote. But it feels good. Let's know you guys' thoughts down below, man. Here we go, Steelers. Shout out to Steelers Nation, man. Roller coaster of emotions. It always is with this team. Every freaking game. Every year. First quarter, we say everyone needs to be fired. Second quarter, we always say the season's over. Third quarter, we're starting to get a little higher up there. Then the fourth quarter comes, and here we are with a victory. Classic Steelers football.
It really is.
And the way you gotta love it. But here we go.
And probably won't want to have it any other way, but here we go, Steelers.
Here we go, Steelers. Shout out to Renegades of Pittsburgh, a.k.a. Steel City Disciples. I'm sure you guys are feeling the same way, man. Crazy roller coaster of emotions. But you know what? I'm here for it. Here we go, Steelers. Let's know you guys' thoughts down below, man. AFC North champs. Feels good. And we got the Browns next week. We'll see what happens. Here we go, Steelers.
Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you later.
Peace!